Good evening, everybody. Jewel here with the tropical update for you this evening on Friday, the 21st of August, 2020. Folks, these storms are something else, aren't they? I'm going to do the best that I can to try to explain what's going on. I'm scratching my head at the same time. Some of this stuff is just kind of unreal, not only to me, but to the National Hurricane Center. Here we have the satellite. We're going to just let it click through for you right here. And I'm going to start out with Tropical Depression 14 right over here, okay? It's looking like it's a bit of a mystery, folks, why the depression has struggled to develop much central convection. It should have had convection. It's in low shear environment, and it's in very warm waters. That's a mystery I don't understand, but since these conditions are expected to continue for the next few days, intensification is still indicated in the official forecast. Although the rate of strengthening has been muted a bit while the system approaches the Yucatan Peninsula, given its current structure. Now, after the center is going to move over the Gulf of Mexico, many of the models still show the cyclone reaching hurricane intensity in about 3 days, including the intensity census, and the possibility is still shown in the forecast. Now, by day 4, it's likely to be blasted by these southerly shear winds that I keep talking about that are right up in this area. Remember, the jet stream's coming down like this, and there's a trough, and when the jet stream moves, it'll take the wind with it. I've told you all about that before. Well, it's looking like this southerly shear is going to be there, and that's going to lead, of course, to weakening while it approaches the northwestern Gulf Coast. Now, the official forecast is looking like it's going to be reduced at that time, although it is noteworthy to mention to everyone that it still lies above the guidance on day 4. Now, a deep layer trough over the Gulf of Mexico is forecast to be shoved aside. The jet stream's going to lift, and the winds are going to change, and that's looking like the subtropical ridge building westward over the next 2 days. Even with this pattern change, the cyclone is expected to move generally northwestward for the entire next 5-day period. However, there has been a notable westward blend in some of the track models, particularly in the GFS and the European, from days ranging from 3 to 5. Now, this is likely due to the models having a weaker cyclone steered more by the low-level ridge at that time. Now, since the National Hurricane Center intensity forecast is mirroring these particular models' trends, the track is looking like it's been shifted westward from the previous predictions on 4 and 5 toward the GFS and the European solution. We're still going to keep our eyes on it. Things that everybody needs to pay attention to with TD14. TD14 right over here. Still, for the life of me, I can't understand why it isn't considered and got that convection built up to be a tropical storm yet. But Tropical Depression 14 is expected to strengthen over the northwestern Caribbean Sea through Saturday. Now, it could still be near hurricane strength when it reaches the east coast of the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico late Saturday. A hurricane watch and a tropical storm warning are in effect for portions of that region right now. And I'll show you all of this. And also, the system's expected to move into the south-central Gulf of Mexico as a tropical storm Sunday. Although some strengthening is anticipated Sunday and Monday, weakening is also forecast as the system approaches the northwestern Gulf Coast Tuesday. It is still too soon to know exactly the location and magnitude of impacts the system will produce along the central and northwestern Gulf Coast. But all interest in that area should continue to monitor the the progress of the system. Now, it's looking like the winds will get up to 70 and 75 miles per hour. Then it will hit this wind, the southerly shear wind, drop down to 60 as it hits land, and then immediately start to downgrade to 35 mile per hour winds. That's what it's looking like now. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. There's a lot of things going on that I just don't understand. And I'm just being honest. But I'm telling you to the best of my ability what is going on. Now we got Tropical Storm Laura. We all thought she might develop too, but honestly, not only me, but the National Hurricane Center and all of these people that actually get paid for doing the weather that's supposed to know what they're talking about, they thought that this one was going to form before this one, just like me. But here we do have Laura, okay? We have Tropical Storm Laura right in here. I had someone jot me a note. Is this going to affect Jamaica? As of now, no. It could change. Don't ask me every day. That's why you have to keep up. But right now, it's looking like this won't affect Jamaica. It should be going north of that area. What is happening with Laura? Well, it's looking like it's got nudged. Now, we got a big high pressure over here. As this high pressure pushes, it's going to keep nudging it southward a little. It's not, the high pressure isn't lifting off yet. So it's looking like right now that it's going to move mainly west-northwestward on the south side of the subtropical high pressure. Now, and it should do this for at least the next couple of days, and then later on down the road in a few days, it should turn toward the northwest as it moves around the western periphery of this high. Now, it's looking like that the track is going to go a little more southerly, so that's going to change the track that I've got to show you. Tropical storm warnings have been issued for Tropical Storm Laura for the northern Leeward Islands, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands. Tropical storm conditions are expected to cross portions of the northern Leeward Islands, the Virgin Islands, and Puerto Rico today through Saturday. Tropical storm warnings are in effect in these areas. Now, heavy rainfall is likely across these areas beginning today. You're already experiencing some of it, and it could cause mudslides and flash flooding and urban flooding through Sunday. So be aware, you're not going to get out of all the rain until at least sometime late Sunday. Tropical storm conditions are possible along the northern coast of the Dominican Republic and Haiti and the southeastern Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos Islands Saturday and Sunday, and tropical storm watches are in effect there. Now, the details of the long-range forecast and intensity forecast for Tropical Storm Laura are still even more uncertain than usual, since Laura is forecast to move near or over portions of the Greater Antilles through Monday. However, Laura could be bringing storm surge, rainfall, and wind impacts to portions of Cuba, the Bahamas, and Florida early next week, and then the northeast U.S. Gulf Coast by the middle of next week. Everybody that lives in any of these areas, please pay attention to your local forecast, your local authorities. Keep up with what's going on. Looking like the winds, whenever it does make a real landfall, should be 75 miles per hour at a Category 1 strength. Of course, we have this little system over here, and this is a brand new one that's come off, as you can see right here. Nobody's saying hair about it yet, but it's plainly not this system. This is a different system. So, I'm going to watch them, folks, okay? I'm going to watch them. I'm going to tell you what I think. Let's go check out some more stuff. Please don't forget to click Show More down below this video. I'll have more information there in case you've missed something. Please check that out, okay? Always click Show More, especially when we have tropical systems going on, because I have more information there. You know, this little chart, this little tracking map is the best thing since sliced bread and bubble gum. Let me tell you what, it is for real, folks. This is like all of the models put together, okay? And then I'm going to show you another model, then we're going over to the National Hurricane Center. But right now, here we have Hurricane Laura, or Tropical Storm Laura. Tropical Storm Laura, she should remain a tropical storm, and you can see all the watches and warnings up here, all the way until she reaches the Gulf. That's when she's going to turn into a hurricane. Now you can see that this has shifted more, it's down this way more, and it is going to go over some of the mountainous areas, but it's looking like on this particular chart, the center only is going to go over some mountainous areas right around Cuba, and then it's going to lift off. So it's got a little swath that's going to go through. We're going to see how much it slows it down. Looking like when it goes over this way, the wind should be around 60 miles per hour, okay? Right now, as of 2 p.m., and we're going to check with the National Hurricane Center, the winds are 45 miles per hour. The gusts are 60 miles per hour. It's moving west at 16. The pressure is 1,007 millibars. Now, as we come on up, you can see right in here, Florida doesn't look as much in danger, just the southern part, except for the Keys, okay? You guys are still going to get hurricane strength wind if you're in the Keys on the Florida area. The southern tip, and like in Miami, your wind should be around 40 miles per hour, and all of this is as of now. By tomorrow morning, it may all be different. And these 40 mile per hour or a little higher winds are going to prevail right up the coastline all the way, okay? So that means if you live on the coastline over here on the west side, up until you get to the Panhandle. All along, I've been talking about the Panhandle with this system. But now, I'm really talking about the Panhandle of Alabama. You guys look like you may get a direct hit. You may not. You need to prepare. You need to prepare, because when this comes in, it's got the winds at Category 1 hurricane strength. Now, for Depression 14 currently, right now, the winds are 35, the gusts are 45. It's moving at 12 knots northwest. The pressure is 1,008 millibars. You can see where the watches and warnings are up around here and around Cancun, Mexico. It should turn into a hurricane around Monday morning. Now, as it moves across, you can see all this in here. Yes, you don't want to be in the Gulf of Mexico. This water is going to be stirred up like crazy. Don't be in a boat. For everybody who fishes for a living, don't go out there. The water is going to be very, very dangerous. Now, it should come down because that shear wind should get into it here, right in this area. It should come down to tropical storm strength, but this is still 70 mile per hour winds, okay? Once it gets in, it's probably going to just start to disintegrate immediately and move on up, as you can see, to tropical storm status. Now, I'm over here to my models. Official National Hurricane Center models and NOAA weather models right now. The ones they usually always go by, okay? Yeah, I've got the map blowed up because I want to point some things out. Now, these models right in here, right in this area here, pertain to Tropical Storm Laura. Now, where you see official, this is the official track from the National Hurricane Center. Now, I've got this set on the late cycle guidance when it's closer to land, okay? Not what it is right now, but what it should be when it's closer to land. And there's so many discrepancies here, but I want to show you this. Now, the official track has it at 65 knots, okay? 65 knots. So, that's the official forecast, and that should be around 75 miles per hour, okay? Somewhere in there, give or take. Now, when we come over to the HWRF, which is usually used a lot with hurricanes, would you look at this? 132 knot winds is what it's forecasting. Folks, that's 151 mile per hour sustained winds. Now, days and days ago, I told you I saw something that said this. It's not budging. Let's pray that this is wrong. We got to wait and see what happens, and let's hope and pray that all these ridges and highs and the jet stream does what they're supposed to. Because if it were to form and become that would be a major hurricane wind force coming in. Okay? Now, it's looking like, and this is the official right here, the official track, which we will get over to the National Hurricane Center and see what they're saying. Looking like it is going to come in with this official track, as you can see right here, coming up somewhere between Mobile and maybe Pensacola. I'm really circling in on this area here. Don't leave out Biloxi, Mississippi either. It could come over here. But I'm thinking mainly for all this area here, the Panhandle and Mobile, maybe even Fort Walton Beach, bless their heart, they get hit with this stuff every year it seems like. But I'm thinking everybody from here over to Biloxi, you guys need to really pay attention. I'm thinking it's probably going to be up in this area here though. This is for today. Tomorrow it may be different. Now let's go over right quickly, if we can, to Tropical Depression 14. As you can see right here, here is the official track from the National Hurricane Center. It's got the winds at 40 miles per hour, or 40 knots rather, I should say. 40 knots, that's around 46 miles per hour. But that's when it comes on up and in. When it hits around the Galveston coast and moves up through this way, and it's going to affect Houston and maybe Beaumont. We'll have to wait and see. It's going to be more than that, okay? It's looking like, I had a note here, hold on a second. It's looking like, once it hits, it can be 75 mile per hour to 70 mile per hour winds. So pretty close, if not Category 1 video, folks. Come on, give me a break. But it's like, you guys in these areas, and even up in the Houston area here, you need to pay attention to what's going on. I really think this track is a good track at this time. It could shift a little more. It could come down around Corpus Christi, but I really don't think it will at this time. Now, when we look at the tracking map from the National Hurricane Center, this is for Tropical Storm Laura. As you can see, tropical storm warnings are up all around here, around the edge of Haiti, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, some of the islands right here at the tip. We have tropical storm watches for part of the islands here, and it's going up to the Bahamas. Should remain a tropical storm until it gets out into the Gulf. Now, they have it even a little bit further to the south. Notice it like this is coming down a little bit further, in that it's going to hit the Cuba area across the entire area here of the land, but it doesn't seem to make it downgrade very, very much at all. So I don't know why the intensity forecast is looking like it's looking right now, but this is what the National Hurricane Center's put out. Turning into a hurricane around Tuesday afternoon and moving up. Doesn't mean it's going to hit this portion of Louisiana, Mississippi. It's in this general area. I just didn't include Louisiana. I didn't realize that the National Hurricane Center had moved it quite so far because they haven't on the other maps yet. So anybody from the Panhandle of Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, I still think it may get nudged a little more this way, though. I'm leaning towards this area right here. But it could be anywhere in here. Time will tell. Tomorrow I may be singing a different tune. Here we have tropical storm, or tropical depression, I should say. It should be a tropical storm by sometime tonight, 14. And this is going to be named Marco, by the way. Now, you can see this is a hurricane watch. It's outlined in pink around the border here. The other is all the blue is a tropical storm warning. As I told you earlier, you guys are going to be getting stuff all the way through Sunday. Should remain a tropical storm until it gets closer and moves up right around closer to the Gulf, where it's getting close to that southerly shear, that southwesterly southerly shear, and that's when it should die down some. I'm still saying when it comes in land, there's a good chance it's going to come in with a hurricane force. If not, it's still going to be a very high-end tropical storm. So everyone over in the exact area that I just pointed out a little earlier, right around in here and not too far from Houston, you need to pay attention and be aware. Please, everybody, have your kits and your plans already ready, whether you're in the Gulf or whether you're on up and down the eastern seaboard. It's that time of the year, and it's looking like these storms are just not going to let up. And who knows what we have coming our way before it's all over. So please stay prepared to a certain degree. I don't mean board your houses up all the time. I'm saying make sure you got food supplies, you've got plenty of medicine on hand, you've got plenty of water on hand. You make sure your pets are taken care of. You always ask your neighbors, especially the elderly and the handicapped, if you can help them out. Do these things. Right now, if you live anywhere along any of the Gulf Line coast states here, you need to do all of this stuff right now. And before I wrap this up right quick, please click, once again, show more that I will have posted for every watch and warning places for both of these systems at this time, with wind speeds if I can find them for you and put them there also. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. I would appreciate it so much. And I want to say thank you and a big welcome to all my new subscribers and all my old subscribers. You know I love you. Thank you so much for hanging with me. Click that subscribe button, click that bell, and then make sure you check off all if you're into tropical weather, hurricanes, severe weather, regular weather, any kind of weather-related material, so you'll get my videos when I put them out. I'd appreciate it greatly. And don't forget to share this information, this video, with your family and friends and on your social media to help me keep people aware of what's going on and to help to try to keep people safe. Now, right over here, we just got this now looking like they've downgraded it some, and you see, they're not even showing that other one that's up here yet. I don't know. Maybe they got their hands full. We'll have to wait and see. But right now, disturbance number 1 is a disorganized cloudiness and shower area. It's located between the west coast of Africa and the Cabo Verde Islands and associated with the broad area of low pressure and tropical wave. Now, this disturbance is expected to move westward at 15 to 20 miles per hour across the Cabo Verde Islands during the next 24 hours. Conditions are forecast to be only marginal, conducive for some development over the next couple of days. Now, they really changed that around, didn't they? Now, after that time, environmental conditions are expected to become less favorable for development. Regardless of development, the system will likely bring gusty winds and locally heavy rainfall across portions of the Cabo Verde Islands this weekend. Now they've got it 2 days 20, 5 days 30. They started out 3 days ago at 10. They went all the way up to 50%. Now it's back down to 30. I'm going to have to do a little investigating out here. I'm devoting all my time to these two systems now to see what is happening over here. But don't worry, I'll keep my eyes on things, and I'll keep you informed. Have a good evening, a safe evening, a blessed evening. Thank you for everything you do for me. I appreciate it so much, and may each of you have much peace, love, and kindness come your way. Thanks for watching.